program. But first, a story in the world spotlight: chemical warfare. A United States study claims that chemicals have been used by Russian-backed Vietnamese forces against centers of resistance in Southeast Asia and Afghanistan. The chemicals can paralyze its victims within minutes of an attack. According to a woman who has been working in the Thai-Kampuchea border area, the chemicals have been used for the past 2 years. Treating the injured has been just part of her work. Duncan Ness reports.
The genes, perhaps...
2 years ago, Adelia Bernard was packing her bags for a trip to the good life in Italy. She and her husband Norman had bought a house outside Rome, where they planned to spend 6 months each year. But the trip didn't eventuate. Her attention instead was drawn to the plight of the Indo-Chinese refugees, and her destination was changed to the Thai-Kampuchea border. She has now lost count of the number of times she has left her Williamstown home to help the displaced people in the border area.
My report is slightly changed from that which I had prepared, and this is mainly due to the fact that having received sad news this morning that one of our villages has been overrun by the Vietnamese in their attack, we have to reorganize our priorities into emergency assistance for these people. I'm leaving for Thailand tomorrow.
Mrs. Bernard is now president of the Cambodian Refugee Relief Association and the Australian Laotian Association. Through these groups, she raises money to provide food and organise self-help programs for the border people. She pays all her own travel and administrative expenses so that 100% of the money reaches the refugees.
We've had chicken farms, pig farms, and vegetable growing. We have been able to supplement the rice growing in Thai border villages, thus helping the Thai displaced population of the borders areas too, from where we purchase the bulk of our rice at cheaper prices than anywhere else.
According to Mrs. Bernard, there are more than 1.5 million people in need of assistance in the Thai-Kampuchea border area. She says funds from international agencies are now drying up, and all major relief organisations have pulled out.
The political structures internationally have decided they have to solve the problem by political means. And of course the people are the tools of political dealings. And along the lines, they don't receive aid. I have in one village 10,400 children whom UNICEF is not supplying even rations to. Children under the age of 10 are excluded from food rations. So we have to start programs in order that they are fed.
Besides the hardship, is there any other threat to the safety of the people?
Well, the major threat is the threat of their extermination by gassing. It's been going on for 2 years, to my knowledge. I have seen hundreds of people die in terrible, suffering circumstances. It goes on throughout, say, Laos and Cambodia. I have seen, as I said, hundreds of people die personally in those areas. Children, of course, gases and chemical warfare does not respect age groups. And children and mothers and widows are killed and die, as well as the soldiers of the resistance in those areas.
While in Thailand, Mrs. Bernard lives in the camps with the people she is helping. There, she is able to provide immediate medical attention to the children and ensure that the money collected is used properly. Last year, she supervised the spending of about $500,000, most of which was raised in Germany, France and Italy. Her work was recognised earlier this year with an award from the Freedom Coalition. Mrs. Bernard knows what it's like to be homeless. She was forced to leave Italy after World War II, when the area in which her family lived was handed over to Yugoslavia. Having raised her own family of 3, Mrs. Bernard has adopted a second family of 4 Cambodian girls. She uses the same self-help policy with them as she does with the displaced border people. Initially, she helped them find jobs, learn English, and taught them how to fit into the structure of Australian life. When they became established, the girls pooled their finances and bought their own house nearby. Mrs. Bernard is now a well-known and respected figure in the Thai-Kampuchea border area and receives many hundreds of letters from families seeking refugee status in Australia.
Finally, I thank so much for your kindness to help the refugees in the camp.
The information is collated and sent to the Department of Immigration in Canberra. Mrs. Bernard answers all the letters, but the replies to this delivery may be a little late. She's in a hurry to return to the border area to get started on her next project, a training program for nurses at a new hospital.
And I would like to live in your best country in the world, where human dignity and freedom is respected.